Tesla and Google's earnings are behind us. The IWM is moving forward and stronger. Hey there, Tommy from FibonacciTraders.com here, the daily market recap. Like, subscribe, and let's see the charts. SPY closed the day with 0.16% to the downside. 556 is the resistance. It was a very important area of support. Now becomes resistance. Let's see where the SPY will take us after Google's earnings and Tesla's earnings. We will talk about those both. Don't worry. 549, 550 now is the next support, together with this red line breaking below the 550 area, and this uptrend is over. RSP, the equal weight ETF for the S&P 500, still holding nice above the 168 area, but the 170 area is the resistance. Not much of a price action on the RSP in the last 3 trading days, breaking below the 168, and we will see 167 to the downside. We do have a gap over here, we have another gap over here, and we know that more than 85% of all gaps will get filled. SPY, we are still bullish on the weekly but bearish on the daily, which means that if we're long on the SPY, maybe it's time to get our stop loss and our risk management a little bit tighter. If we're not long yet on the SPY, maybe it's time to wait. On the RSP, we're already bearish on the 4 hours, bearish on the daily, bullish on the weekly, mixed signals, which means do nothing for now. The QQQ, on the other hand, bearish on the daily, bearish on the weekly, which means no long for now on the QQQ. And as you can see, the 483 area in the past 5 trading days, very tough resistance. Look left, what do you see? The same area, the 483, was a very tough resistance during June until beginning of July. Now, if this pattern, right shoulder, head, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, all the way back to the 450, never say never. The same price action we saw left might be on the right. But Fibonacci traders, you know us, you know me, we don't rely on patterns because basically patterns are not reliable. All we need to do is follow price, trend lines, Fibonacci based trend lines, and the FTI, Fibonacci support and resistance. 477 is the support, below it 468. This gap will get filled, and then 463, just follow price and use the Fibonacci, the FTI, as your roadmap for future price action. Dow Jones, 3 consecutive days, no price action whatsoever, holding above the 401.80 area with the 407 as a resistance. Breaking below the 401, we will see 398 and 394. IWM continues its way to the upside, another 1.06 to the upside, breaking above the 220 area. Now let's see continuation, 226 and 234, bullish on all time frames. Bitcoin, for the time that I'm recording this video, continues just move sideways above the 64,900 and below the 68,500. Below the 64,900 we will see 63, above we will see 72,800, and maybe all the way to the 78,150 by the end of 2024. I'm a little bit skeptical about it, but it's Bitcoin, it's crypto, never say never. Ethereum continues to move sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 consecutive days. Super tight price action. 3,400 holding a support. 3,560 as resistance. The launch of the Ethereum ETF, we don't see the effect. Long above the 3,560, we will see 3,770 and 4,000. Below the 3,400, we will see back to the yellow zone, the 32.75. XLF 0.19% to the upside. Doji, 3 consecutive days of not much price action. 42 needs to hold the support. Below it, 42.16 and 41.70. Mixed signals on the XLF. XHB, the home builders ETF, continues to be green on the daily, green on the weekly, holding above the 113 area. Below it, of course, 109, continuation above it, and we will see this yellow trend line to the upside, the upper border of this amazing broadening formation. The broadening formation is the only true formation how price aggregates. Magnificent 7 basically closed the day on the zero, and as you can see in the past 5 trading days, super tight price section with 45.80 holding as support, and all this area, the 47 area, as resistance. The Magnificent 7 is trying to hold its head inside this uptrend channel above the red line, but struggling. We have a gap over here at the 47.50, and below the 45.80 we will see 44.80 and 43.60. 2 out of the 7 Magnificent 7 already earnings past us. The rest of the Magnificent 7, July 30 and August 1st. SOXX 1.5% to the downside, struggling with the lower border of the yellow zone as resistance. Continuation to the downside, we will meet once again the 239 and 230, and maybe even all the way to the lower border of this broadening formation. KRE continues to be the strongest of them all. 1.56 to the upside. 55.50 is the support. Now let's see continuation towards this green line. This green line is the upper border of a magnificent broadening formation. There are broadening formation wherever you look. Now this green trend line helps us identify the higher highs since April. Looking towards it, above it, 61.76 and 66.22, bullish on all time frames. This area, the 61.80 area, will become the next major resistance. Why? Don't ask why, just look left, trade right. Look left, what do you see? 61.80 area, support, super tough resistance since April of 22 until February of 23, almost 1 year of a very, very tough resistance. Bulls gave up, went all the way down, and now bulls are slowly grinding up towards it once again. Ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell you don't want to miss. We are going live 2 times a day. Pre-market preparations every day, 8:29 Eastern Time, and the midday market halftime show also live, 11:59 a.m. New York time. You don't want to miss this. It's chart request, anything that you want to ask. Looking back, looking forward, preparing for the next trading day, preparing for the second half of the trading day, basically helping one another to do one thing in the trading, make money. Apple still have this gap over here. Apple closed the day with 0.47 to the upside. Let's do this red. Why? Because gaps, I like them red. We have a gap over here, and now we can see that the 227 area from support to resistance. All you need to do, put the FT on your chart. This tool, one click away, will give you everything that you need. All the support and resistance, multi-time frame, sell signal, buy signal, where to put your stop loss for short, where to put your stop loss for long. Check the links in the description below. Join the gold membership of the Fibonacci Traders Discord, and you will get also access to the FTI. We have Discord for day traders, for swing traders, for crypto, for futures, for options, whatever you want under one roof, and it's including the FTI. Now the 220 area is the support. Below it, 214, 209. Below 209, we are heading back to the 192. August 1st. Earnings coming up. Microsoft, 0.43% to the upside. Close this gap. Not surprising, more than 85% of all gaps will get filled. Now, let's see, the 439 area needs to hold the support. As long as we are above this yellow trend line, on the long term, we are in an uptrend. But look at the FTI. It gives us bearish on the daily, bearish on the weekly. It helps us identify and helps us to make smarter, better decisions and emotionless as much as possible decisions. No long for now on Microsoft. Google closed after earnings. 177.74 went down 2.2%. If Google goes down, might be the rest of the market will go down after it. Tomorrow, 176 now is the support. Below it, 171 to the downside. Bearish on Google and the daily, bearish on Google and the weekly. Tesla ended up the day with 2% to the downside. Is inside this triangle, and we've been talking about this triangle. We said prepare for both sides. Tesla, after earnings, went down 7.5% to the downside, closed after hours 227.20. Now, in my opinion, it's heading south to the 212 gap and then 207 to the downside. This is why I say always prepare for both sides. Protect the downside. Why? Because no one knows how the market will react to these numbers. Never go into earnings with an open positions. Never. Protect your capital. Nvidia 0.8% to the downside. Close this gap. Now, once again, the lower border of the yellow zone proves itself as a very, very tough resistance. We are still under the pressure of this double top scenario. Breaking below the 120, we will see 114 and 106 to the downside. Protect your downside. Prepare for the worst case scenario. And for now, Nvidia looks like it wants to go down. Amazon with 2% to the upside. Amazon earnings coming up August 1st. Amazon still bouncing off this green line. This green line helps us identify the higher lows. Since February, we are still bearish on the daily, bearish on the weekly. So for now, no long from what I see on Amazon. Let's see another daily close above the 189 area and we can start taking long all the way until August 1st earnings. Netflix 0.7% to the downside, nothing much. Still bouncing between the 653 and the 642 area. Very tight price action. Inside candle, which means indecision in the market. 626 to the downside and then the same price action we saw over here to the upside. We might get back to the downside with all these support levels to the future of price action. AMD 1.2% to the downside. AMD continues to look not good for the bulls. Bearish on 3 out of 4 time frames. 150 area now needs to hold the support. Below it, we're heading south, retesting the lower border of this broadening formation together with the 145 area as support. July 30th, AMD's earnings. Meta tries to stay green, but look at this. Once again, the lower border of the yellow zone, very tough resistance. Second day in a row. To the downside, we have 479 area. Below it, 459. No long for now on Meta. Palantir, 1.2% to the upside. But as you can see, Palantir with no trend in the past 3 weeks. No clear trend, right? Just sideways move. 1 day up, 1 day down. Inside candle, dojis, inside candle. But bullish on all time frames if you are already long on PLTR. As long as we are above this red line, we are good to go long. 27.70 and 26 47 are the support. Above the 29.83 we will see 32 and 35 to the upside. Shopify, nothing much, continues to grind down each and every day that goes by. The lower border of the yellow zone from support, now 3 consecutive days as resistance, 61.77, and then continues to slide down on the lower border of this broadening formation. Like, subscribe, check the links in the description below. Join me, choose your path, and join me on this magnificent journey to become successful, profitable trader, whether you want to be swing trader, whether you want to be day trader, whether you want to take it to the professional side or as a second or third income. I will teach you everything that I know. We will go hand by hand, lifetime access, until you will start making money through trading by yourself. MicroStrategy 4.3% to the downside now. The 1650 area, all this area, 1680, 1650, very important area of support. Below it, 1578. We are still bullish on 3 out of 4 time frames. SMCI 0.4% to the downside. 753 needs to hold the support. We're talking about this 753 in the past few weeks or so, breaking down and under. 691, 650, bearish on 3 out of 4 time frames. AVGO still with this gap not filled. The upper border of the yellow zone, very tough resistance. 157 is the support. Below it, going to close this gap. We are less than inch away from closing this gap. Still, this gap is open. Bearish on the daily, bearish on the weekly. And if we take trend lines, Fibonacci based trend lines, you can see lower highs, lower lows, which means downtrend on AVGO until proven otherwise. Eli Lilly 1.4% to the upside, trying to get back inside the yellow zone. Still a lot to prove. Bearish on the daily, bearish on the weekly. I will not go long on Eli Lilly yet. I want to see back above the 909. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the top 5 gainers in the past trading day. Beam Therapeutics went up 12% to the upside, broke this massive area of resistance, the upper border of the yellow zone, the 2750 area. Look left. Since April, very tough resistance. Now broke up and above. Now let's see continuation. First we have a gap over here at the 3165. Long continuation, and we will see 33 and 36. As long as we are above the 2750, we are good to go long. And NOX 11.15% to the upside, bullish on all time frames. But look at this red trend line. This red trend line helps us identify a long downtrend since February. Let's wait. I will put an alert above the red trend line. Above the red trend line, we will see 950 and 1040 to the upside. CHPT, charge point, holding strong above the yellow zone. 2 is holding strong. Now let's see continuation above the 220, and then we can start taking long towards 244 and 276. As long as 2 is holding a support, we are good to go long. PTGX 6% to the upside, holding strong above the yellow zone. 35.14 from a very tough resistance to a very important area of support. Now let's see continuation above the 39 towards 41.70 and 45, as long as we're above the 36.80. Boeing, BA is the ticker, of course, 4.24 to the upside, broke above the yellow zone, bullish on all time frames. I want to see continuation above the 188 area, and then we can take this one to the 188, and then 192, and the rest of this future resistance. Don't forget, check your earnings. July 31st, before the opening bell, Boeing have earnings. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do hope you found it helpful, educational. If so, like, subscribe, check the links in the description below. Join me today on this amazing journey to become a profitable trader. Until the next video, stay safe.